Hey guys, it's the Arsenal Kid here, and yeah, I'm just gonna do a bit of a tutorial here on Growls. Well, personally, how I do Growls, kind of like how I did it in one of my latest tracks. I'll just put it right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is show you guys exactly what I do in terms of what I do. Most of these are taken from like other artists, mostly Barely Alive and some of the things that Virtual Riot does. So, but mostly stuff that I've seen from like multiple YouTubers. So, without further ado, this is how I do it. I use Serum, by the way. You can apply this to even Vital or any other like what do you call it, any other VST that allows you to do a lot of modulation. So as you can see, I got a simple saw wave. Girls usually have a low octave, so usually that's tend to be good. So what I personally use are filtering, modulating a filter, modulating what do you call it, a bend, either plus or minus, and you need a decent growl wavetable, or you can just use any wavetable that you fancy, and usually it works. So for example, this I'm just gonna use a spectral one, a monster one, something that has decent amount of frequencies. So I'm just gonna do like a yeah kind of just like yeah. So it's gonna be like yeah, so yeah kind of thing. All right, so and also yeah, modulating the wavetable positions, that kind of helps as well. So wavetable position, envelope. Just for this, you can trigger it if you want to like multiple like stages of it. So envelope, alright, then we're going to add a bend on it. Usually I use plus or minus, doesn't really matter in the end. You can do it and also just use it. You can start to hear the little, you can start to hear it. Give some more volume. Alright, and filtering. Now I find that using a high pass filter tends to do more. Going from my ear of lower frequency to higher one usually gives some, what do you call it, some more push to it. So we're gonna use a high one, get that to modulation. You can use more advanced one. I'm just showing you what like my general like, yeah, you can get it. Just showing you my personal like what do you call it, process behind it. So here we go. Is it low enough? I think this is good enough. All right, so as you can see, those are like basically what I do. Have a bend, modulating a filter, and messing with the wavetable position. Then now it's all about just your post processing, what you do with your post processing. So for this, I'm just gonna add a bit of hyper, just because I don't know, I just like having my growl bass with some form of like stereo width to them. So add a bit of distortion. You can mess around with choruses, you can mess around with phasers, you can even add a compressor and add a bit of OTT to it, multiband compression, any multiband compression, but mostly OTT does something where it like boosts the highs in a sense. You can just like, and oh yeah, and another thing, you can modulate the volume if it helps. So yeah, I kind of like that one. I kind of like it that low. You can add a EQ to add a bit more You can modulate another like frequency and see how that goes. Frequency on it to go backwards, push the gain up a bit more, and so it's gonna be like add more movement to it. And then what I do, I already have like a set, what you call it, rack that I use to like master it. And this is what I use basically. I have a camel crusher on it that's just doing British clean, a sound goodizer to add a bit more mids to it, two OTTs both like at 30%, well 30 and 48% depth, and also mess with the frequency bands a bit more mids on this one, and this one kind of yeah, so it's just like little things, a bit of boosting here and there. I sometimes change it depending on the type of bass that I'm using, which frequencies I want to stand out a bit more. You can add a ring modulator to it as well if you fancy. Like if you really want to like change things up, you can add a ring modulator as well, and a fruity limiter just so it clips and sounds distorted. So yeah, that's just how I do it. And that's just so yeah, that's basically how I make my growls. So if you guys learned something, or if you guys just want to like use this as a way to build your growls from now on, you can definitely go ahead and do that. And also just don't be afraid to express yourself. You can mess around with the modulations a lot and try to get different sounds. You can use different type of filters to try and get more results. But that's just what I do. I'm not a professional, so you can just take some of the steps that I do, maybe research some more, and get some advice from someone else that's probably a lot more knowledgeable than I am. I'm no professional sound designer, I'm just saying from now. But yeah, hopefully this can help some of you, especially the more beginner producers, to improve your craft and maybe even get you interested in sound design more, instead of spending money on getting presets.